Good morning, everybody. Real World Prepper, and today my wife and I are going to go look at a piece of property, some acreage with a house on the land. The house is an older house, but is move-in ready. Some updated fixtures and some different things, but it's a big, spacious place with a nice, cool basement. There is a spring-fed pond on the property as well as a well. And again, some acreage. There's some cleared areas that would be great for gardens and grazing. And there's also, towards the back of the property, there's already some pins, wire corditioned off pins for animals and things. Looks like they had animals out there, the previous owners. And so a little different aside to what we were doing in the last looking for land video, where we were just looking for a piece of land that we might could build a bug out facility on and that kind of thing. With one of our group members, we're actually looking to just maybe it be our family dwelling as well as our rural oasis. So check it out, come on along. Private drive, well off the road. Here's your cleared spot. I don't know if you can see the pond down there. Let's go around this way. Big old 3,300 square foot structure. Deck that need a little reinforcement, but is in pretty good shape. Goes on down. The cleared area goes back a certain ways, and then the property line actually goes beyond that. There's your little pond. There's the house. Goes back that way too, beyond the trees. And a vitally important piece, in my opinion, is this guy right here. Yes, sirree, Bob. Now, it looks like it's just, I don't think that's a pump style. I think that's on and off, so there's probably an electric pump. So a little solar unit to power that would be ideal. Hello everyone, Real World Prepper here, and I just wanted to let you know we just made an offer. We just made an offer on that house with the acreage. I'm not going to notate how much acreage, but it's enough. It's a great piece of land. It's a great house. It's a great area. As far as proximity to things and defendability and viability on the land, as far as raising gardens, animals, etc. If we're going to do any of that stuff, which we'd like to, where, look, right now, I'm just going to show you. This is us. This is where we live, on a street. Okay? We're going to get off this street. I just made an offer. My realtor's going to lock it down. We've got fortunately, we've got the money, we've got the credit score,
we can do this, and so we're going to do this. And it brings me to what the topic of this video is going to be about, and that is get out of the city now. Technically, we're in a little town on the outskirts of a bigger city, okay? If you go just that way, about a half a mile, you enter the county, you enter a rural area, and of course the further you go, the more rural it gets. So, and that's the direction that where we're going. It's where we just looked, and we looked at this place a few times already, and we just went out there with the realtor and did it. But the thing is, in the city, all right, even in a little town like this, which technically you might as well call city because we're on top of each other. Everybody's on top of each other, okay? You see it. I mean, you know, we're on top of each other here. If the SHTF goes off, when the SHTF goes off, these people aren't prepared. They're not. There's a couple here on the street that are. And I talked about groups. I talked about groups in another video, and I've talked about them before. Groups, as we have been discovering, are hard to come by, hard to figure out. So right now, we're looking at relying on just ourselves. Now, something's been brought to my attention from one of my subscribers who I've been in communication with, and I will be in communication with you again, Miss Wanda, soon, I promise. And about groups don't technically have to be on the same acreage like a commune. And so I agree with that. If there's a proximity that's decent enough, you know, there can be some support. Zombie Farmer said it in his video response to my prepping groups video the other day, that back in the olden days, you know, if your neighbor needed help, you went and helped your neighbor, and in return, when you needed help, they helped you back. And we're hoping to form some relationships with some of the spread out neighbors that are in this place that we just made an offer on. And but worst case scenario, if that's not how it works out, we're gonna go it on our own. Okay, that's our choice. That's what we have to work with. But you got to get out of the city because people are not prepared. I mean, if you look at this statistically, and I don't have statistics to tell you this and to prove this or anything like that, but there's no doubt in my mind that it is few and far between who are actually prepping for something, who are prepared to be able to take care of themselves and sustain themselves outside of a day or two or three from what they've got in their home. You know, most people don't even believe that there's anything to worry about. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm very excited. You got to get out of the cities, man. People are so dependent on the systems in place, particularly in the cities. At the very least, if you just look at it statistically again, look at the numbers, you know, when you've got a mass influx of people in a small geographic area, you know, and the majority of them are not prepared, then they're going to come out looking for stuff, and they're going to take stuff from people, and they're going to hurt people, and they're going to kill people. They're going to do awful nasty things. So if you can get spread out in the country, in rural areas, a spread out piece of land where you can do your own thing, where you can defend it, where it's hidden, where it's covert in any ways that can be, and this place is to some degree. I mean, you know, is it the perfect place? No. Is it perfect for us? Proximity to where we want to be and need to be, because there is still real world goes on. Again, I'm the real world prepper, and I talk about real world things: family, life, jobs, mortgages, bills, responsibilities, everything. That still goes on until it doesn't, okay? So we're in a good position, this place, provided everything works out. I'm going to let you know. We're going to talk more about it, and you're going to see it more closely and more in depth should all this work out. I have no reason at this point to believe it will not. We crunched a bunch of numbers this morning with the realtor and made some phone calls, made some things happen, and I'm praying that God, that this is God's plan for us, and this is what we've been praying, and We feel very strongly about this, very confident about this, and so I'm very excited. But you got to get out of the cities, okay? You got to get out of the cities. I know everybody can't do that. I get that, you know. So you city dwellers need to come up with your own plan. I don't have the answer to that plan. You got to look at that. There's a lot of videos out there that talks about city prepping, okay? Me not really being a city dweller, I mean, I've been in this little town pretty much my whole life, you know, so I can talk about that. But even then, you know, the folks from the city are going to come, they're going to branch out, they're going to come this way. So the further away you can get from that, and the more defendable you can be, and the more self-sufficient you can be, the better. So you got to get out of the cities, okay, if you can, okay? I know everybody can't. You got to do what you can do, but if you can get out of the cities, do it now. Don't sit on the pot. My wife and I have talked about this for minimally 5 years, if not longer. And for one reason or another, a lot of it mostly based in fear, we have not made a move. And we've had some very earnest discussions in the last few days, and a lot of prayer, and we've been looking. You guys know we've been looking for a while, and we've looked at some different options, you know, buying land with people and not, and blah, 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 and this is what we've decided on. And we pushed the go button. We said, let's do this. And so just waiting now a day or two to make sure everything washes the way that we believe it will. And I'm pretty excited. So stay tuned. There will be more that I will show and share as this endeavor goes along. But get yourself out of the city. Get yourself on a rural piece of property. Protect yourself, prepare, be able to sustain yourself, grow your own food, raise some animals, be defendable, quality firearms, everything you need. This property's got a well on it too, septic system. It's I'm pumped. So anyway, Real World Prepper, I appreciate you guys letting me check in with you, and I will see you very soon.